I guess. What better place to kick off the season preview than that fantasy island of Utopia? For the beer flows like wine, and the wine flows like beer. In the cannabis, oh yes, that cannabis grows as far as the eyes can see. Look at it. Look at it. Green and luscious. Take a little whiff. Ah, yes, that sweet smell. One more time. And that air smells fantastic. Take a little walk to the top of the hill, boys and girls. We're kicking this bad boy off with some bets. We cashing in or we checking out to kick it off.
Right
2025.
Right off the bat, sir. Right off the bat, we are starting the season strong right away. First and foremost, thank you everyone for joining us. If you like what you're here, check us out. Check us out on YouTube. Tell a friend to check us out as well. Every listen, every like, every thumbs up means so much to us and so much to what we do. So thank you all for once again checking us out. And yes, the lines are out. The betting lines are out. Vegas has put out 3 major categories. Of course, one is the Drivers' Championship. Number 2 is the Constructors' Championship. And number 3 is the fastest pit stop of the season. Of course, we won't know these until the end of the season, but we're going to make some bets today. And the one thing that we always bitch and complain about that actually is in our favor this time, every line is on the plus line.
Yeah.
Every single line is on the plus line. So, Cheese, I think we have to start exactly where everyone would want us to start, and that's with the 2025 Drivers' Championship prediction. Let me bring up the numbers really quick here, as I have a feeling I think I know who you think is going to win this year. But I'm just going to drop the top 5 here for you. Lando Norris is plus 175. He is the favorite, but at plus 175. Max Verstappen, the reigning champion, looking for 5 straight, is plus 300. Charles Leclerc plus 400. Lewis Hamilton plus 600 in 4th. And Oscar Piastri plus 900. Rounding out the top 5. George Russell after that plus 1,400. And then you go way down to Liam Lawson plus 5,000. For Liam Lawson. So if you're a Red Bull fan this year and you think Liam Lawson's going to take it home, drop plus 5,000. That's 500 to 1 on your money or something like that. So yeah, or 50 to 1. I apologize on your cash there. So yeah, that's where we are left, as well as Oscar Piastri and McLaren plus 900. Even Lando Norris at plus 175. It doesn't seem like a bad bet anywhere. Cheese, how you feeling? What do you think is going to happen in 2025? First of all, we are in Greentopia. The rules are as follows. Next week, we will both be receiving 5,000 Greenie Bucks to spend on gambling during the season. Each week, we will update everyone based on where our numbers are at and who is winning. This is season number 4 of Greentopia. Cheese has won 2 seasons. I have won 1 season. So to not go way behind, down 3-1, I really need to win this season to bring it back even 100%. But with that, we're going to add an extra 500 Greenie Bucks today. So we have a total of 5,500 Greenie Bucks. 500 will be spent tonight on futures, 5,000 beginning next week. And at the end of the season, we'll see who remains the In the Paddock F1 Greentopia champion of the year. So if you got all of that and all the groundwork for what we're going to do this season here, let's get into it. You got the numbers, sir. Who do you got? If anyone, you don't have to put anything on. You got 500 Greenie Bucks to spend on 3 categories. So you could put something on a driver's champion or not. So what are you thinking?
Drivers champion. Give me that plus 600 Lewis Hamilton. Hell yes.
Ooh.
Hell yes. Let me put a hundo on that bad boy as well.
Someone is seeing red and in a good way. So a Ferrari champion for the first time since what, 2007? It's been a while. It's been a while, sir, since we've had a Ferrari on top of the leaderboard here. So bold predictions starting right off. Anyone else you have for the Drivers' Championship? As you got Lewis plus 600 here.
I do actually. I mean, the plus 300, why not take Max too?
All right, so you got
Why
100
not?
on Max plus 3, 100 on Lewis plus plus 6, 200 dropped, 300 left. I'm going to go one bet here, and I'm going to go half of the stack. We're not going all in. I was considering going all in on one pick here. But I really feel Max Verstappen is going to take his 5th straight, matching Michael Schumacher's all-time record. I'm putting 250 greeny bucks on the plus 300 Max Verstappen. Put it in the books. I don't want anyone else. I don't want Lewis or Lando or anyone else. This is Max's year, just like it's been for the last half decade. Max is going to take it home. Give me 250 on Max. Put it in the books, sir.
That's bold. That's bold. I like
I
it.
don't know how bold it is. I don't
Pushing
know.
half the
I
stack.
don't. I don't
Pushing
have
half
the
stack. That's
confidence.
bold, but let's go. Let's
I
go.
don't have the confidence in McLaren. All right, so that is our. I apologize. Our drivers' championship picks, which leaves us with our constructors' championship picks. If you are ready, McLaren is the favorite, plus 100, so still on the plus line, even though barely on the plus line, but plus 100. Ferrari right on their heels at plus 125. So really, it's almost a coin toss on the betting line here between McLaren and Ferrari. Was not expecting that. Red Bull, though, plus 500. Plus 500. The team that has won, 7 of the last 8 Constructors' Championships is plus 500. And then Mercedes is way back there, plus 1,400 in 4th. And they have Aston Martin plus 7,000 and Williams plus 10,000. There's no way they're going to be anywhere near there. And I guess I can round the rest out. Alpine plus 30K. The other Red Bull is plus 50,000. Same with Haas plus 50,000, and Sauber is plus 70,000. So if you're on some good drugs and out of your mind, you can take some of those back end ones. But most likely, we're looking at the top 2. Maybe Red Bull there, squeezing it in the back in the top 3. Cheese, who do you got winning the Constructors' Championship?
Give me Ferrari plus 125. Hundo. Do it. Book it.
All right. All right. Okay. Ferrari plus 125. I like it. I was on the fence. Like, is Liam Lawson gonna come out this year, or is he gonna be Sergio Perez this year? And that's just where I'm hanging out at. I'm gonna put 150 on Red Bull plus 500 to get back in the championship here. I got a little more trust in Liam Lawson than other people have, although that can completely backfire in my face, which it probably will. And I'm going to put the other hundo on McLaren plus 100 to go back to back. So as you can see, I'm putting no money on the Ferraris. That's my 500. I'm spent. You still got a couple hundred greeny bucks in the bank there as we go to the final category, and that is fastest pit stop, which I couldn't get anything else out of Vegas, man. They're coming up dry. So if you have a bet,
I got two for it. I got two.
Not you, but I'm speaking to our listeners at home. If you have a futures bet and you want to drop us a line in the paddock@gmail.com, drop us your bets, and we'll read them next week on the show. So if you got some bets, either matching what we got, or you got some other futures bet that we don't know about, maybe some European gambling house over there or something in Australia for those folks down under who are listening, who are getting ready for their home race in a couple of weeks, or from listeners all over the world that listen. And thank you for those Hong Kong. Ni hao, Hong Kong. Thank you very much. Put us top 10 in the sports category this week on Apple. So thank you, Apple, as well, for being an amazing partner with us. And thank you to the folks of Hong Kong for putting us in the top 10 in the podcast this week. So that was a little bit of a surprise and put a little smile on our faces. So thank you all down on the other side of the world. So there could be some gambling houses out there or some underground betting that you're doing with some friends. In the PaddockUSA@gmail.com. Hit us up, and if we like what we read, we'll read it on the air. So, or on the podcast, of course. So that leaves us, of course, with, I think, the most ridiculous category, and that's fastest timing as far as pit stop timing goes. You got two at the top. You got Red Bull plus 110, and you got McLaren plus 175. And then you go way back, Williams plus 750, Ferrari plus 750, Mercedes plus 1400. I guess in the long run, in the end, any team could just have that 1.8 second pit stop at some point. You know, there's no guarantee that it's going to be Red Bull as it is every single year, or as it has been. But I'm out of money. So you got the floor, sir.
I am putting a hundo on Red Bull plus 110 because they pretty much always have the fastest pit stop. But we're also going to take that Ferrari at plus 750 because why not? Because why not?
Plus, that's juicy, man.
That is juicy. A juicy number. That's a juicy
big
number.
Risk, big reward.
Big
right?
Reward.
So I guess not even
Go
a huge
big or
risk.
go home.
As we got it there. All right, so to recap, I'm taking Max Verstappen plus 300 with 250 greeny bucks to win the whole thing. Who else did I got here? I don't even know who I got anymore. We took both McLaren plus 125, did we say, for the constructors, and Red Bull with another 150 up there, plus 500 Red Bull. Well, that's a juicy number too, man. Some juicy numbers coming out of Vegas. We do not get juicy numbers like this often. So I think we're enjoying these numbers today. That's for damn sure. And those are our Greeny Bucks picks. So hit us up if you like it or not. Cheese. We're adding a new segment this week. Something that you came up with that I love. I really, really enjoy. And go ahead and introduce our new segment.
3 bold statements.
Ooh.
Go deep in that bag and pull something out of your derriere that is a little bit on the extreme.
All right. So you got 3. I got 3. Things that probably won't happen, but we'd love to see happen. It would be making very exciting, and nothing's impossible, especially going into this season in F1. I really feel that it's like any direction, especially going into, next year with the reg changes. We really could be in absolutely any direction this year. So let's make some bold freaking predictions.
All right, I'll start it off here. First one, a little preview there in Greeny Bucks, but Lewis Hamilton will win the Drivers' Championship for the record 8th time in a red car.
Yeah,
It's not super bold.
He's fourth. So it's not like he's like, 7th or something as far as the Vegas lines are concerned. But anyone, I would say, outside of Lando Norris, who's a heavy favorite right now, in comparison, he's still on the plus line, but he is a heavy favorite compared to everyone else. That's bold, man. That's bold. Lewis is 40 years old. If he can do that, that would shock the world, and that would bring F1 to a different level globally. If Lewis can do it, it really would. It would get a lot of people interested that haven't been interested in the past, especially with Ferrari winning. I mean, every time, it's been a while, as we said, 2007, the last time Ferrari drivers won a championship. Yeah. So, all right, I like it. So you're going to pass it back to me then, I guess, huh?
Yes, I'm passing it to you. The baton has been passed. What's your first bold statement?
First bold statement is going to be Liam Lawson finishes in the top 3 at the end of the season.
Wow,
I think Red Bull
bold.
Wow. I think Red Bull is playing rope-a-dope. I think Red Bull they're just too good. And something's going on, and I would love to see Red Bull get back in, especially how hated they are now. The more they're hated, the more I'm rooting for them, all right? The more I'm rooting for them. And I think we keep seeing this curse over and over again. Let's see if Liam Lawson can finally break this curse. Because I think Sergio Perez was just so bad of a driver last year that it threw off the whole equilibrium of what Red Bull can do. I really think that Sergio was just that bad and uninterested in driving to the level that he needed to be. And if you put someone fresh blood like Liam Lawson and Red Bull makes all the corrections that they should have made in this offseason, hopefully they did, and hopefully they've understood that they were embarrassed last year by crumbling in the second half. I think Red Bull has a really good shot at getting back on top again, and I think we're going to see a lot of Liam Lawson on podium this year. Maybe not the top, maybe not winning races, but he's going to see a lot of podiums this year, and that is my bold prediction. So tossing it back to you, next, sir.
I got a bold statement to fire right across your bow on that one, sir.
Go for it.
Red Bull will finish 4th in the constructors behind Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes. No Adrian Newey, no dice.
So you're saying a further crumble for Red Bull into from mediocrity to stinkocrity.
Yeah, and the curse of the second Red Bull seat will continue. Liam Lawson will struggle with the pressure as it mounts as the season progresses too.
All right.
That seat is cursed, man. So I'll pass it back to you now.
All right. I'm going to go with the number 4 as well. But I'm going to go with a very bold prediction, and I really like what I've started to see last year, and I was extremely disappointed in this team last year, extremely, as I picked them to finish high. But I think they just are going to be the surprise team this year. And I'm picking Williams to finish 4th in the constructors this year. 4th. If I told you this time last year McLaren was going to finish top 3, you would have said I was out of my mind. Okay? So I'm going with the same kind of theme and feel. Williams is back. All right? And I'm saying that even though because a premonition of the last Williams driver to win a championship, that Jacques Villeneuve locked himself in a bathroom in Milan, Italy yesterday and couldn't get out. He landed in Milan, went to the toilet, got stuck in the toilet, made the news. How often does someone getting stuck in the bathroom make the news? So I think that's a premonition to say that your last champion had shitty luck. Literally. Getting stuck in a toilet in Milan, Italy. I think that's a sign that Williams is going to shock the world, and I think it will be Mercedes that's going to take that step backwards this year and finish in that potentially 5th spot. I think Red Bull's going to finish higher than 4th. You think they're going to finish 4th? I think Williams is going to be in that 4th spot. I think they're going to.
This is a fun segment. You got to come up with something bold. Come up with something bold. This is digging that hat.
I think that's pretty bold.
Something bold. That is bold. That is very bold.
All right. Last one for you. Number 3 for you, sir. I'd love to hear what you got on your mind.
Oscar Piastri will finish in front of Lando Norris.
Ooh.
That's a tip. That's a spicy meatball right there.
That's a season of tabloid headlines.
Yeah.
Because the infighting between Oscar and Lando will be so intense.
Oh, it'll be humongous.
So intense if they are actually battling like that. And I think they will, because I think, as we mentioned many times last season and in episodes earlier this season, they both think they're number one drivers.
Mm-hmm.
They both consider themselves number one, and there's no one on the back end at McLaren, whether it be Zach Brown or anyone else, that's telling them who's number one. Maybe they are, and behind the scenes they're saying, Lando's number one, but we haven't heard it. We didn't hear it last year. There's really no clear number one. So it's a bold prediction. I don't think it's insanely as bold as you might think it might be. But it's gonna be interesting. But I think if Oscar finishes ahead, I think that would be maybe not completely shocking, but yeah, that would raise some eyebrows for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my final bold prediction. Back and forth on this one. Carlos Sainz Jr. No, we're not going to stay away from Haas. That's too bold. It's too bold. Carlos Sainz Jr. will announce he's leaving Williams before the end of the season for Cadillac.
Wow. That's bold.
I think he's the driver out there that Cadillac can get to put their name right out there right at the beginning, because there's going to be no one else available. I know we're going to bring Danny Rick back, maybe, but that's not going to be a competitive driver. I think the most competitive driver that has an opportunity to leave their team and go to a new team, Cadillac, I think it's Carlos Sainz Jr. is that choice. And I don't think that's as bold as you might think. But I think it's announced before the end of the season that Sainz, who's going to have a phenomenal year, him and Alex Albon are going to have a phenomenal year with Williams, as I mentioned before. And he's going to put himself in a position to get a big fat contract from Cadillac, and he's going to move. And those are the bold predictions. What a great start, man. What a great segment. A lot of bold stuff there. If any of these things happen, that would make quite the Formula One season. But listen, we are getting ready, as everyone else is, because we are only 7 days away from the first race of the season. Sir, where are we headed to?
Going down under. Australia to kick it off, like the good old days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun.
Listen, we love the classic starting in Australia. Always so nostalgic to always start if you're starting the season in Australia or ending the season in Australia. But yeah, it should be a great start to the season. And the fact that we're going in with just no idea who's going to even win the first race. You know, you got Piastri's home race here. You got, you know, McLaren's favored, but Red Bull might make a comeback. Mercedes, who knows what they got in them, whether they're going to be coming out roaring or not. And of course, the ponies. The ponies will be front and center next week. Yeah. And if Ferrari can win the first race and set the season off being on the top of the world, it's going to really be the start of a phenomenal season. We will join you all post-race next week in 7 days. Say what you got to say, brother.
I will see you in 7 days. And until then, stay medicated, my friends.
Peace.